Welcome, everyone, to the first official event of the Great Smoke 2023 Mardi Gras Madness. I am here with my trusty cohort, the man they call the GOAT, Alex Tavella. And in the dark room, we have our dear friend, our buddy, the most jolly man I know, Steve Saka of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Sporting the Psycho Bunny tonight, too. I like it.
Oh, Merry fucking Christmas, right?
Merry fucking Christmas. Where's this guy? That's the guy. Look at that happy jolly.
Listen, bro, that guy Christmas is over, pal. That guy's
for right there.
No shit,
that guy's
man.
out of here.
I'm the only one that takes joy in the end of Christmas. Well, honestly, man, Christmas is like the gauntlet of endurance. I mean, it is just too much.
Are you hearing Steve well, Alex? He's a little quiet to me.
No, he's good for me. What about everybody else?
Me. My whole sound system is whack.
I hear him good.
Yeah.
People in the comments. Steve, you're fine for me, so.
Okay, what about the comment people? Because that's what we care about.
That's exactly.
This is our first event launching off. We ended the year with Saka. We're starting the year with Saka. We're Saka all over.
Yeah, too much sock as far as I'm concerned.
Sock is sick.
I like the money, but come on, man.
Hey, man, it's what people want. It's what people want. Stop crying about it.
Who's that guy on? Is it Jalen Rose? He does the whole "give the people what they want" spiel on his. I won't even try to impersonate him because he does it so good. Jalen and Rose. No, it's not. It's not Jalen Rose. It's Jalen and Rose, right? They have a sports talk program. Black dude, white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Former NBA player, right? Jalen.
Well, yeah, but his name is actually Jalen Rose.
So it isn't Jalen. It's Jalen and Jacoby.
Yes.
Look to the other guy.
Jalen Rose is a basketball player.
Yeah.
Basketball player.
Jalen Rose, basketball player.
Jacoby's just the white short guy. He's kind of like his Alex, right?
Yes.
Right.
All right, listen, folks. I'm going to get this out of the way now because you can comment all you want. Here's the way this works. No, I'm not putting anything up right now, Abe.
Right, I was going to say, if people are watching this, I just want to explain. This is the first event of the Great Smoke, and we're releasing this man now.
No pressure, man. No pressure.
This man has hit the hat trick. 3 years in a row, the only manufacturer to make a Great Smoke exclusive. 3 years straight. Always sells out. One of the most sought-after releases every year.
Says great Christmas gift bribes I send.
We are dropping this tonight. Now, if you're watching this and have no clue what we're talking about, Steve has made this as an exclusive offering to those who are participating in the Great Smoke, whether you're coming down live or at home virtual. So if you'd like to buy this, you'd have to have your Great Smoke ticket, whether you're going to watch from home and take part of it or come down for the event in person. You have to have your ticket. So we're going to give anybody just jumping in who hasn't had their ticket a chance to go to smokein.com, go to the Great Smoke, purchase your ticket, and in a few minutes later in the show, we'll make this live for people available to buy. Now you can go ahead, Alex.
Okay, so Abe has given me the okay to put it in stock whenever I want. So at some point, I'm just going to jump in between these guys talking, and I'm going to throw it in stock and let you guys know. So you can chat away and ask me to open it up, but I'm not opening it up until I'm ready to open it up. But while we're here, wait a minute, before I forget, let's wish Abe a big happy birthday. I know he hates it. I know he hates it, so let's just get it out of the way now.
Is it me that hates it or him that hates it? Because I'm looking at something else.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. A grown-ass man. Look, it's your 50th, it's your 60th, it's your 108th. I get it, But come on. You should be not celebrating What birthday is it, Abe?
51.
51.
Yeah, 51. Who cares?
Okay, I mean, we can still wish the guy a fucking happy birthday. 2 fucking curmudgeons I'm stuck on air
tonight. It's real guys just don't do this shit.
You want to know where I was for my birthday, Steve, at 3 o'clock this morning?
Exactly where he is right now.
Right fucking here.
Exactly. I mean, come on. You know where I was for my birthday? I was fucking slinging cigars at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival. You think I told anyone it was my birthday? Hell no. I don't need all that bullshit. Happy birthday. Nobody cares.
I do want to thank everybody who did reach out. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It's very, very kind.
And by the way, Moxie, I'm sorry. I just saw your DM, PM, RM, GM, whatever the hell that was. So I didn't mean to blow you off, but I blew you off.
She can't hear you.
Oh, well.
So before we get into this cigar and what this cigar is about, and honestly, what made it so special. Now, you made a video, Steve, I think it was sometime in December, middle of December, talking about how you outdid yourself with this. And of course, you know,
I was to say, I'm supposed to say this one sucks. Please,
well, no,
you would shoot me. The last time I had even the minorest little bit of criticism of something I did for you, it turned into a huge success, and you still got your panties all in a twist.
Well,
so what am I supposed to do with this?
Well, this is what I'm saying, because you normally don't say good stuff that often. But I'm going to tell you something. You really did outdo yourself. This is definitely my favorite.
But as you will soon learn, I don't really deserve credit on this one. Not because I didn't blend it, but there's a little bit of a weird ringer in here.
Well, we will get to that story because we need some stuff to talk about. But if you're watching, this is a Great Smoke, the official first event of the Great Smoke. We have 5 special releases. Dunbar and Tobacco and Trust is our first release of the Great Smoke. No, they are not sold out. We have not opened up the sales. It will happen during the show. It will happen during the show.
You think they'll sell out? I don't know.
I think they'll sell out.
I think so.
And it's limited. I'm just telling you right now. Make sure you're in the TGS store already and logged in. Make sure your credit card information is saved and your shipping address is all ready to go. If you get it in your cart, do not go shopping and looking around for other stuff. Check out. Get it in your cart and check out. It is limit 1 per customer. We want to try to we have thousands of people who come to the Great Smoke, and while they haven't all bought their tickets yet, there's still over 65% of the people who have already gotten tickets for this event. And there's going to be way more people than there are packs of cigars. So get them while you can tonight. Everybody out here tonight, I have a feeling we'll be able to get one. So get one. We want to make as many people as happy as possible.
There's already a huge chant for this thing. Hasn't even gone on sale yet. There's a huge chant for Saka second chance. So.
Yeah. Well, let me say this: second chance is not happening at this price point. So
I don't think they'll care.
I don't think they'll care either. I can tell you what.
Listen, if you're looking for instructions, go open another tab in Facebook. Me and Abe did a video. Then I did a video with a full video walkthrough of how to do it. Go to the Great Smoke tab, get your reference ID, go to the Great Smoke store, plug it in, and you'll be in there.
Tommy's a veteran. I think he was just making a comment saying that I gave you good instructions on how to be ready to check out and what to do.
Okay.
I don't think he was asking. Okay. But still, there's a video out there. You can get instructions, you know. There's new people every year to this event. So there's all those people who really don't understand what's going on. So, you know, we do have to kind of explain it. I know a lot of our veterans who've come and been part of this now every year. They're like, why are they telling us this? We know this because there are new people every year. So
same reason why I have to tell people why I can't take any more friends on Facebook, right?
Right.
Same comment. You got to, I know it's a broken record for the people that have been following me for 15 years, but you don't have a choice because every year I get another 1,000 requests, and you know, there's just nothing I can do with them.
No. So this is the first of 5 exclusive releases that were made for those attending or participating in the Great Smoke 2023. So you have to have a ticket to enter the TGS store. If you already have your ticket, please make sure you're already in the store and ready to go when Alex drops this. So Steve, you're telling us you're not taking full credit. So now I don't even know this story. What's the scoop with that?
So okay, let's just kind of go back to the origin of Cuban seed tobacco, right? So tobaccos that come from Cuba are just generally called tabacos negro cubano, right? And then in 1907, they kind of formalized a seed in Cuba that they classified as habanesis. And that was kind of the basis, because that was the time where, because prior to 1907, whatever tobaccos were growing in Cuba, they were really the byproduct of a seed that was brought over from the Yucatan Peninsula, from the Mayan area of the world. So even though Cuba likes to take credit for all things tobacco, their seeds actually started off in Central America and they made it to Cuba. But those seeds were naturally cultivated and they weren't hybridized. They would grow the plant and then they would harvest new seed. And then the next year they'd plant that seed and on and on. And what ends up ultimately happening is these seed varieties kind of take on their own nature. So really San Andres Negro was really the basis for Cuban seed, but that San Andres Negro seed migrated to Cuba in the 1500s over to the island, and then it was harvested and grown and recultivated over and over again. In the late 1800s, the whole concept of hybridization by botanists started to come into more common use. You know what I mean? Where rather than just allowing the plants to do what the plants do, they would then start to choose the mother and the father, and they would manually swab the stamen of the plants to try to breed them. And eventually what ended up happening is by 1907, they had come up with what was considered a uniform standard for Cuban seed tobacco, which they had classified as Habanesis. Then, and that seed pretty much was left to its own devices all the way through the 40s, right? And then it was, and there's the experimental research station, which is kind of a little bit of the, it's kind of where I took the whole word experimental blends from, was kind of based on them, because all of the EX blends that I do always have something like really different or unique in them. And most of them suck, to be honest with you. But every once in a while, I hit on a winner. The 38 had a special Wisconsin thing in it. The 78 had a cross hybridization of two different wrapper varieties that are meant for a future project that has yet to come to fruition. And the EX-127 is no different. So all of these seeds are under the development of the experimental research station of San Juan Martinez. I had to think there for a moment. I'm getting old. The first seed that they reclassified was in 1941, which was, they came up with the classification for Criollo. So Habanesis got replaced by Criollo. Then later in the 40s, and I'm not going to say a date because everybody argues about this date, and the reality is none of us really know, but we all agree that it was later in the 40s they came up with a second seed variety called Corojo. Okay, so you had these two seed varieties that were pretty much grown exclusively in, Cuba. You had the Criollo and you had the Corojo seeds. Now, and what you ended up happening is you then had all these seeds when the embargo, right before the embargo, when all these Cuban farmers and growers and cigar makers start spreading all over the place. They of course all took seed with them, because if you don't take seed with you, you can't grow Cuban seed tobacco. So like, for example, and I'm not going to go through the whole litany because we'll be here forever, but let's take a very common one, Piloto Cubano, right? Piloto Cubano was first brought to the Dominican Republic and planted in 1962. And since 1962, you have Piloto Cubano every year. And, and then what they end up doing is some of the tobacco gets naturally selected, where every year you allow the crop to grow, but you only harvest the seed from the very best looking plants in the field. And you then use those to plant your next crop. But also along the way, farmers begin to tinker with the seed, right? Oh, well, let me mix it with a little of this, and let me swap this plant with that plant. And that's what you call hybridized seed. So, but even when you don't hybridize a seed, eventually it kind of becomes its own unique thing, because the combination of terroir, that combination of sun, earth, soil, yada, 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 climate, always affects the way a plant develops, right? So if every year you're just not even hybridizing, but you're just naturally selecting to pull the seeds from the strongest of the plants that do the best in the environment, over the course of, years and decades, that Cuban seed plant is not the same as that very first planting in 1962 from the seed that is smuggled out, right? It becomes its own thing. Piloto Cubano is its own unique tobacco. It even has a different shape than a classic Cuban tobacco. You take Piloto Cubano, like one of the quick tests that anybody can do is you can take a Piloto Cubano and you can fold it front to back, and the leaves, the butt of the leaf and the tip of the leaf, they mirror image one another. Very unique. It's just particular to Piloto cubano. So the experimental research station, they went on to develop more seeds, and most of them happened in the 90s. They made Habano 92. They made Habano 2000, both of those as wrapper varieties. And then they took the Criollo from 1941 that had been allowed to naturally select to this point, and they hybridized it into a Criollo 98. When you hear C98, and that's the seed that is predominantly planted like a Nicaragua, is a version of the C98. But again, that was a seed that was developed and planted in Cuba in 98. It gets smuggled out to Nicaragua and to other places, Honduras and the Dominican and Mexico.
Go. We're
It's
live.
live. Oh, he just did it. He's live.
All right, cool.
Continue.
I already got my money. So what ends up happening is the C98 obviously becomes its own thing too, right? Because we're now we're 24 years removed from that. Am I doing my math right? 24? Yeah, 24 years removed. And then in 99, they had done a variation of, you hear C99, right? Well, C99 isn't Criollo 99. It's a variation of the Corojo. Corojo 99 is what became C99. There really hasn't been, the experimental station is always developing new things, but very few things end up actually making it out into the world. Now, there have been some, but this particular seed that's in this is one of these new generation of Cuban seeds that has yet to be named, that was smuggled out of Cuba. And this particular cigar has the tobacco from the very first planting ever of that seed. So this is as close as you're going to get to having that seed as naturally as it would have been in its original country, in its new country. Because every year after this, whether they choose to allow it to naturally select, it will get further from the original source seed. And probably what will ultimately happen is they won't allow it to naturally select, because they very rarely allow anything to naturally select anymore, because growers and agronomists are far more sophisticated today. And you have to understand, growers are into this for the money, right? They want more, crop. They want more pest resistance. They want more disease resistance. They want higher yields. They want, more weight. They want better, less, just a million different things that concern them. But when they get that very first original smuggled seed, the only thing they can do with it is they have to plant a crop in order for them to grow more of that seed, for them to go and then start to play with. So what this cigar has in it is it has one of these original smuggled seeds that has never been planted anywhere else in the world. That's what this has in it. So it has a very unique, distinct flavor to it. And one of the odd properties of this cigar is that it has that bit of floral aroma that is so quintessentially Cuban, which is not something that you really get out of a lot of tobaccos that are not from Cuba. So that's what makes this so different and special. The problem is there was only that one pilot crop of it, right? Because yes, seeds were harvested from that pilot crop. And I won't say whether that was last year or 3 years ago, because that I don't want to date when it happened, because I don't want the guy that did the deed to get in trouble. But at the same time, there was only so much of this tobacco that was grown. And therefore, there was only so, and they didn't really care about the tobacco. They cared about harvesting the seed from the tobacco. Now, whether it ultimately becomes something that becomes a big deal and ends up with some special name and everybody and their brother starts to use it, there's no way of knowing that at this point. But what I do know is that there will never be more of this very first growth of a directly smuggled seed, of this seed that was directly smuggled out of Cuba. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess someone else could still smuggle that seed. But as of right now, to my knowledge, there isn't. So that's what makes this so unique and so different. And it's such a perfect thing for me to throw in one of these EX blends, that I kind of feel like I need a year off because, look, I can make another cigar. I can make a cigar that tastes better, arguably, but I can't make one that has a better backstory than this.
No.
I mean, I'm done, man. I'm at the mountain. So from here on out, it's just downhill. And the tobacco that I have is the tobacco that I have. There's no way I can make more of this exact very first planting of this particular seed ever again.
Well, lucky us.
Well, lucky you don't need too many cigars. That helps.
Oh, damn it. I just dropped the cigar I was holding in the ashtray. Well, congratulations. I got to tell you, hang on. I was looking at this here. Congratulations goes to Stephen Pingold. He was the first guy to get the cigar. So he was actually the first buyer.
Let me say this. Even if cigar sucks, it's still really unique. You're never going to have an opportunity. I mean, you would have had to smoke the very first Dominican-made cigar from Piloto Cubano. You would have had to smoke from the very first crop of C98 grown in Nicaragua, very first C99. You know what I mean? And those were much more widespread than this. This is very, very tiny.
Well, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. That could be one of the coolest stories I've heard about a cigar. So, as only Steve would do. So,
the thing is, the cigar is almost exclusively that tobacco. There's just in the filler, there's just a very little tiny touch of Pennsylvania seed leaf added to just give it a little touch of pepper. But I mean, this filler is all, you know, Seco Viso Lojero of this particular crop. So it's a very simple blend. There's not a lot. What makes it unique is the tobacco, not Steve Saka's blending skills by any stretch of the imagination here.
as always, Steve downplaying any role.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than talented.
Amen to that. Unfortunately, a Powerball didn't agree with me.
Hey, Mega Millions, I passed the boat. It's up to 980.
The Mega Millions.
I gotta. What day? Oh, today was the drawing day. Shit, I didn't buy a ticket.
No, it's not today. It was yesterday and Friday for the Mega Millions.
Oh, really? So I still got till Friday. I gotta buy a ticket.
Nobody won yesterday, so it's like almost $1 billion.
Yeah, it's gonna be $1 billion by Friday. How can you not buy a ticket for $1 billion?
It's funny. Everybody's complaining because they were such in a flurry, try to get this in their cart and make the purchase. They missed this great story, so they're like, "I got to go back and rewatch this."
You don't even know what they bought. How foolish!
Not foolish. I'm telling you, great buy. All right, I don't.
No, great buy.
Great buy. This is a great buy. Anybody who tries one and is not happy for any reason, I will buy it personally. For me, I'll buy it back.
It's medium body, maybe a little over medium.
You know, you're right. There is a uniqueness there that I just can't pin down. It's something I'm not familiar with. Let's put it that way. But I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
Good.
Enjoying the hell out of it.
I like it a lot too, and you can really tell in the retrohale, and you can really tell in the aroma. I think it's. I mean, again, it's just got that odd floral characteristic. Now, it doesn't have that same sweetness though, but I think it's because you don't get the Cuban grown wrapper, right? Where you get so much of that, sweetness from. But you definitely get those floral notes, and you definitely get kind of that. I mean, there's a sweetness, but it's more of a sweet cedar kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Let me just give a quick message here to somebody. If it's showing out of stock, that probably means you have one in your cart already.
Yes.
You can't put more than one. So if you're seeing it out of stock and you're wondering how people are buying them, it's because you have it in your cart. Check out. You figure they'd all be like professionals by now.
Like you said, there's always new people though.
I have 4 VIP. Sean, you're not a noob. I have 4 VIP tickets, but only 2 unique user names on Smoke In. Well, if
you better go create 2 more accounts.
Yeah.
Create 2 more accounts if you have multiple tickets. If you have multiple tickets that you bought, but you don't have people with accounts, you can only get 1 per your account. So go make another account with another email.
If we didn't put limit 1, this would have been gone in 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But if I remember right, didn't we have some left over from the last year's? No, we ran out before TGS.
Yes, they were gone.
Yeah, that's right.
And last year you made 500, I think.
Yes.
I can't even remember the number.
Yeah, 500. Yeah.
And there's how many of these? 300, I think.
300. So it's going to be gone. Pretty good. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a lot of happy people there. So good stuff. So
there's so little of this, Abe. We've talked about it before. I don't have anything. You have those special cigars in your aged vintage rare room. This might be something that would work for that. You know what I mean? Because I can't make enough to offer all of my great retailers. Because all that would end up happening is everybody would be pissed at me.
Well, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Abe had a little something caught in his throat. We'll take it.
I'd like to play with the sizes a bit.
This work of art warrants it. This is like one of the coolest.
He has it. That's right. Abe wasn't here for the.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, look at that, man.
Yeah, you were stuck wherever you were stuck. You were just getting off a plane in Lake Tahoe when we did that event. Yeah, it came out nice, man.
This is one of the coolest things we did last year.
Everything except Laffrey. Laffrey's actually, it's cool. But he's super creepy, man.
You
got that bird face going on or what?
We captured him in the perfect moment, man. I love this. My kids love this. Each one of my kids were fighting me for more stickers. They were. They said you looked very debonair. That was the words they used.
No, look, I got to give credit to your graphic artist. He didn't have much to work with, he or she, but they did me a solid in that.
The focus, there it is. Look at that. Look at that piece of art there, man. I love this.
And you know what I said to you? I didn't care, but you had to talk to Cindy. Cindy was the one that had to write off saying, "Yep, that's okay," because with her being the front and the center and the sticker, I'm like, yeah.
And I had to do right by my love there, man. I love Cindy. Had to do right by her.
I just don't need that grief in my life that she'd be pissed off about some fucking sticker.
Did she like the frame?
Oh, she likes it all. I will say the big one though, I think it's a little too much. Look, we're not photo people. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're that New England Yankee kind of folk, so it's a little much. But I'm gonna get it framed. I'm gonna hang it in a place of honor in the office. It might though end up having to be a Christmas decoration. I don't know that I'll get her to be okay with her seeing it 12 months a year.
It totally is a Christmas decoration. Totally. I love it.
But no, thank you very much for the gift. It was very kind.
My pleasure. So for those of you watching, Steve not only made a great smoke exclusive, but Steve will be hosting the Friday night event for those coming live. Now, for those of you who have virtual tickets and we're getting all your goodies in your package and stuff shipped to you, obviously, you can't come to the live event on Friday night, but we're broadcasting all day Saturday for you. Steve, Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust will be hosting the Friday night event here in Boynton Beach. So, just when you think we couldn't cram any more stuff into the Great Smoke.
I'm competing with the Red Meat Lovers dinner, so all the heavy hitters will be there. So hopefully they'll show some sympathy and come over to Boynton and at least say hi after the meal and have an after dinner drink and a smoke with me.
Boynton is a madhouse after the dinner because 200 people go from the fairgrounds directly to Boynton.
Just when you think it's loosening up and you're able to breathe, you're going to get a stampede of about 150 people.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
it really sucks because I bought 4 tickets to go to the Red Meat Lovers.
Oh, yeah. Abe, I'm sure. I assume you sold, but congratulations, Matt. I assume, Abe, you're looking. You didn't see his Facebook post.
I did not.
Matt has a baby on the way. Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations.
Awesome.
That's how you do it.
Congrats to you and Nicole both.
Talk about.
The reality is she's going to do the hard work, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What Matt did is kind of like, yeah, he would have done that gratis, so.
And then you got 24 months back to back. Yeah, bro. You can give them 2 years apart. That's the best way.
You say it like it's so fucking easy.
I did it 4 times.
He's got Brandy. That's why.
Right.
If he didn't have Brandy.
Literally, the guy that was here at 3:30 in the morning last night.
Listen to me.
I've always said this. If my boys were left to me to raise, I literally would have been putting baby food down in a bowl on the floor. They would have been like feral children. Okay, they would remember those wolf children stories from the 70s?
Right.
They would have been my 2 boys, right?
What's funny is I keep telling my wife she's so lucky we had 3 girls first, because my wife is not like a family grocery shopper. Like she's like meal shops and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, because the girls, they eat daintily, they'll eat something here. Yeah. But the kid just is like a locust. He just goes through everything all day long. I'm like, man, if you had boys, they would have called the CFS on us. We would have been in trouble.
Gallon of milk lasts a day with 2 boys in the house.
Oh, when my brother and I were growing up, a cereal box was a single serving.
Well, I was going to say anything that's packaged is a single serving. That's what I was trying to explain to my wife. And I'm like, it doesn't matter whether it's a 4-ounce package of goldfish or a pound of goldfish. When you open that package, it's a single serving when you're a teenage boy. And even when you're a 57-year-old boy, so yeah.
Buy a cow, Steve Saka. I'm going to pretend I know what that means.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I get so many messages. I get lost. I'm a little hazy right now.
So, are you traveling? Are you doing anything these days? Are you?
No, I have to hang out close to home.
All right, well, that's not bad. How's the weather up there? You getting a bad winter?
Surprisingly, look, we had that cold snap. We didn't get it as severe as the rest of the country, right? Because we're used to really cold weather. We had some decent snow, but it's all gone because that cold snap brought us rain. And it melted everything. Everything's just super gray and super glum. And but recently it's been like I don't know, 20s to 40s. It's been pretty warm for New England in January, but it's still pretty. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember that movie where everything was gray. Is that Brazil? I don't know, but basically. And when you look out upon my land, it looks like Fallout 3. You know what I mean? Everything's just kind of this real dull gray kind of. It's not a pretty time of year. It's just look. Cindy loves it here. I love it here. 7 months of the year. I love it here 8 months of the year. I mean,
it's the rough 4 months.
Yeah, but I could skip January, February, March, and April and not even blink.
But
it would not bother me.
What did you guys want to go up for? The fall and the spring?
Look, springtime, everything from spring. Look, but spring comes late here, right? So it's kind of like the tail end of April. Look, our last hard freeze day is May 20th. So, I mean, when they, April showers, May flowers, it's more like we still can get snow in April. So May's about when things turn around and then, spring is glorious, summer's glorious, fall is amazing. And even when it gets darker and colder, football starts, it feels right. There's a natural pattern to it. Pumpkins in a pumpkin patch, harvesting apples at an apple orchard at the end of September. You go and really get a Christmas tree at the place where the Christmas tree actually grows and you cut it down. You have the white Christmas. It's all very Norman Rockwell and it feels great. But once you get through Christmas, you're like, okay, enough is enough. So I would like to just do Christmas here, go someplace really spectacular for New Year's Eve, and then basically spend 4 months in a much better, warmer climate. But that's not possible with a small business. So it's irrelevant. It's not going to happen. There's just no way for it to happen. It's not like you can have the company in 2 locations. That's completely impractical. So I'm a slave to the New England gray. It's just the way it is.
It's funny. My kids had their first winter, their first snow white Christmas winter.
And I bet you loved it, right?
Well, it's funny because when we got there, it was like 40 every day. Snow was already on the ground. They were able to, but the snow had like snowed and then melted and froze a little. So it was like just like sheets of like rock hard snow. And they went skiing and they went snowboarding and they had their fun experiences. But then the last day before they left, they had like 3 feet of snow. It was like a blizzard. So I drove up the mountain, found a place we could park the car, and they went nuts. And they were having the time of their lives. Going right. And like literally like about 20, 25 minutes in, they're like, okay, we're ready to go home now. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It was enough.
Yeah. Look, you grew up in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So you guys had bitter, cold, windy weather.
Bitter.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain how cold that is. I think Chicago's even colder than here because of the wind. The wind makes such a difference.
Man, the wind could be negative 80 degrees.
Abe?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
About what?
What do you want to do? You want to go? Go?
Yeah.
All right, we're opening it up for everybody to be able to buy one more.
Yep.
Make it happen.
If that's what you get for being on here.
Yes. So you can buy one more while it lasts.
If I get one more message,
Right.
you know, we're trying to listen to Steve.
We've heard your cries.
Right.
Heard
I'm
your
getting
calls.
bombarded.
You can buy one more. Go now.
There will not be a second chance on this one.
Can you make me like a handful?
Yeah,
let's
that
get
I
back
can
to
do.
that, like,
That's a different story, but
Listen, I'm telling you, if you had a second chance, I was just going to order 20 for my personal supply. This could be one of my favorites of all time. And I did not know the story until you just said it tonight for the first time. It's the first time I heard the story myself.
yeah, I mean, I alluded to it a little bit in my write-up, but I didn't. Got to share. You got to save some pizzazz for the people that watch the vidcast, right? Can't lift your skirt all the way up.
Kent. Hashtag Kent.
Where's still just ticket holders? Looks like rain today, Pooh. Well, no. I don't know.
No,
These
listen,
guys are gonna have a madhouse.
Fuck you up if you make them do that. Because we'll have to issue a refund on everybody for that. Yeah, I don't think they'll bundle the freight. Plus, they'll have to look for multiple orders, and it's not going to happen. If you really want it,
We threw you guys a bone. Yeah, we threw you a bone.
yeah, literally.
In
fact,
would sell out either way. So,
well, we had like 130 or 40 people on during this broadcast.
Yeah.
So, after this broadcast, I'd say it back to one, Alex.
I don't think there'll be any left, but okay.
If there is, after this broadcast, I say it back to one.
So what's the next one? Who's the next monkey to dance?
Alec and Bradley.
Yeah, the boys.
So let me tell you something. I really, really like these guys. I mean, it's sometimes when you're dealing with the second or third generation of someone who built the company or business, it's not always the, easiest time. I won't mention any names, but these kids are great. They really love.
But Alan's a great guy, right?
He is a great guy.
And so it's not surprising that he has 2 great sons.
Well, Robbie Levine was a great guy.
Why are you putting me here?
What I say. Anyway, apples sometimes fall, but roll far from the tree. It happens. Not always, but it happens. But no, Alan's a great guy, but his kids really got into it. I love working with these 2 boys. It's been a pleasure these last 2 years.
They're not boys. How old are they now? They got to be in their 30s, right?
I mean, listen, I'm 50. I knew them when they weren't driving, so they're still boys to me. It's hard for me to get that out of my head. It's like, listen, Eric Jr. is still. He was at my grand opening of the West Palm Beach store. I think at like 10 years old. He's still a boy in my head.
It's right. I have this. Look, I remember holding Jeff and Tanya's baby 1 week after
Boris.
After Boris was born, and like. He's 1 week old the first time I met Boris. And, here he is now getting ready to go off to college, for God's sakes.
But they're really awesome to work with. And they were so excited when we asked them to do something, and they made a pretty cool packaging and a cool name, and really got into the Mardi Gras thing. So we're excited. The date of their broadcast is when, Alex?
That is.
It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from today.
It's 2 weeks.
I think it's every 2 weeks leading up to the Great Smoke. But I know Alex has got a lot of things on. You know, what's funny is people don't realize that we are getting bombarded with so many messages and PMs.
January 18th.
I was just looking up myself. There you go, January 18th. So
imagine there's a lot of people in the audience that know it better than you guys do.
Even fucking Raj. Even Raj is messaging me right now.
Yeah.
Our guy from India.
Seriously.
I think the thing that people, so like when it comes like stuff even like this, I mean, for me, this is something that was done 8 months ago, right? I mean, it's done 8 months ago. I just have to make sure, look, it wasn't like the packaging's nice on it. So not a lot of work went into the packaging, for God's sakes.
You know, you see that every year, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I dig this kind of cool little.
It's a poker, right? They're factory bench Moestras. They're experimental blends. That's what they are.
All I know is I at least have one bundle for myself,
yeah,
because it's the one you stamped wrong from the factory. So
that's ours.
They stamped it with what, the 78 on it, right?
Yeah. So that's what we've been smoking.
That's
so
ours.
One bundle for ourselves.
But the bands on the cigar were right, if I remember.
The cigars were right. They just used the last year's stamp on the outside of the bundle.
I swear to God.
So that's the best. That's the best.
Dude.
Anything else you want to talk about while we're here, Steve?
I don't know. I don't. Okay, you're the host. It's your job to lead this. So
no, I am leading. I just didn't know if you had something going on, an event, something you wanted to, let people know where you're going to be.
No, look, it's going to be a really interesting year. I mean, we had great solid 2022.
Okay.
But as you well know, it's become hyper competitive. I think 2023 is going to become even more competitive. I think it's going to be. I think for you guys as retailers, it's going to be honky dory. I think for us on the manufacturing, production, brand owner end of things, I think it's going to be. I think it's potentially as a bit of being a bit of a bloodletting, to be honest with you.
Why do you say that, Steve?
Well, because look, in 2020, we had such a huge demand from COVID, right? 2021. And everything that we do at the factory end is always almost like a year behind. So what ends up happening is you had so many back orders and you had everyone trying to rush to catch up with so much production. And look, we all as cigar consumers, we've all noticed some quality slips in some of the products that we've been enjoying for a long time. And look, it's not my job to name brands or any of that. And I hope people don't do it in the chat, but let's just all kind of commonly agree that things got a little looser coming in through 2021, 22's production. And what ended up happening was in 2021, I mean, we had 456 million imports? That's a crazy number. I mean, it's just so high. And then 2022, retailers got hit with all of their back orders, right? At this point, there really isn't anybody out there that, there's certain things. You got your LaFleurs and like I'm behind on blues and Mickey Rita Blacks. I mean, there's these like individual things here and there, right? But for the most part, the retail part of it, the pipeline's been filled, right? And so now it's going to get a little skinny because, it's going to be a little tougher. We'll see what ultimately ends up happening. I'm hoping that because we're small and we're nimble and we never really ever crazy overproduced, that we should be able to weather it fine. The question is going to be, are consumers going to decide that they can smoke so many other brands at a steep discount that they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to buy this and that because it's just the price is too good on it. Whether it be their favorite or not their favorite, their wallet may make them go that way. And then the other thing too is, I don't know where this economy is. Is the economy good or does the economy suck? I'm really confused. I mean, I don't actually know. I mean, I know what I'm paying for heating fuel. I'm paying more in a month now than I was paying for 2.5 months just 2 years ago. I mean, that's going to affect people's budgets.
That's everything. Have you seen eggs lately? What the f is going on with eggs?
I don't know, man. I'm up to like almost 75 cents an egg now.
Yeah, eggs are like a freaking like $9.
Yeah, eggs are nuts. Eggs are nuts right now. I want to address a comment real quick. Stephen Pitts, some of you guys might see this. That means your order's just kind of getting in with the craziness, and you might have clicked it twice. If you see you're getting an email, one is blank and one has the order, that blank one you were not charged for. A credit card was not processed at all. So just disregard the blank. That happens sometimes with so much coming in. You may see a duplicate, but if it has no product on it, that one disregard. If you got the one with the product on it, you got the product. And your card wasn't charged for that blank order.
And even if it mistakenly was, you're going to refund them the money anyways.
Of course.
Yeah. So.
But still, I don't like to have people's money, but that they don't get processed. I caught a few of them and already killed them out, but those cards don't get processed.
You know what? Brooks just said he can get 2 dozen eggs at Costco for $4.
Yeah, I didn't see that. But I was going to say, do you know what's the one thing you can count on that's never, ever, ever going to go up no matter what?
I'm listening.
The Costco hot dog.
Yeah, but the CEO has made that promise so many times he can't go back on it.
No, it's never going to go up. More than $1.50 a hot dog.
The thing is, they're just going to figure out a way to make it cheaper, which is like, oh my God.
True.
The hot dog won't go up, but mustard will be 50 cents. Ketchup will be 50 cents.
Right.
Chopped onion, tablespoon will be 75 cents.
They'll start charging extra for a bun.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what they'll do if they're. I don't go to Costco, so I don't know. We don't have a membership, but I mean, do they offer like chili and high-end add-ons to the hot dog?
I don't know if I want to say this right, but to me, I could proudly say I've never eaten at a Costco.
All right. And it's not that I wouldn't, because I love hot dogs. Okay.
I'm not there to eat, so I don't think about it. I just finished getting my groceries. I got these big carts full of stuff. I'm not stopping to get some food.
But I mean, that is the way, you take a base product and you just start adding the add-ons. It's like ice cream, right? It's like, yeah, okay, the ice cream is $4, but you end up tacking on $5 worth of add-ons, between the sprinkles and the syrup and the thises and the that's. And I want the chopped macadamia nuts. And
are Sumo oranges back in season? Oh, I got to go get some.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, somebody just said I got to go get some.
They are good.
I do not know how, being in the grocery business and raised in the grocery business, I never heard of this thing until like a couple of years ago. But it's my new thing. Sumo oranges. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for literally the first official event of the Great Smoke. We got to hear a great story about this cigar, which I'm telling you is stellar. Stellar is a good word.
I'm glad you like it.
It is. It really is stellar. In fact, I will be hitting you up for some. I don't need bands or craft paper, but because I know Alex is going to keep pestering me for some, and I really don't want to share that many. So,
well, I have a few bundles that I kept back, so let me see how many I retained.
There we go. That's what I like to hear. But it was our first release of the Great Smoke limited releases, the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust EX-127. Congratulations to everybody who's acquired some. There is not a lot left, but I think guys will straggle in tonight and tomorrow morning, realize they forgot, and I'm pretty sure by the end of the day tomorrow, this will be gone. Congratulations to everybody who got one. Thank you. Join us back here for 2 weeks with Alec and Bradley Rubin as we show off their cigar, The Crew. Images should be up shortly online, and you'll be able to see what it looks like, the size and the pricing. And if you have any questions, we do have a fax page on the Great Smoke regarding the Great Smoke. And Alex and I think you did it yourself. Did I do it with you? I can't remember. We did it together.
We frequently ask questions, and I did a walkthrough on how to get into the TGS store,
which is on the Smoke Facebook page too, right?
And internally, the malicious part of me is hoping there's some sort of fleur-de-lis in the packaging. because I just love all of that trademark nonsense. So, I mean, come on, it's Mardi Gras, the fleur de lis, for God's sakes.
I think there's a couple of fleur de lis being used. We already took a picture of the Woody.
Yes.
It was being made exclusively for the Great Smoke. They made a Mardi Gras Woody. I think there's a fleur de lis on there, but what are you gonna say? Anyways,
who did the Woody? Who's that?
Oscar, have you not seen the cigar?
Giant.
If I tell you, it's mind-boggling how much of this cigar we sell. You wouldn't believe me, Steve, if I told you.
I think
you really wouldn't believe me. What? You have one there? Hold on.
I've always wondered. It's one of those novelty cigars, right?
Novelty or not, they buy it. People smoke it. I don't know what they're doing with it. But Alex, what is it like?
Italo must have took them.
What's the dimension on it? It's 80 or 100 ring gauge, and it's like got to be 16 to 18 inches long.
What?
Yes. I gotta look it up now.
Woody, 21 by 100.
21 by 100. And if I tell you that it is, people go nuts over it. We're constantly out of stock. We're constantly. So we made a Mardi Gras Woody. We posted a picture of Oscar Valdez holding it in his factory, and it's all Mardi Gras themed packaging and whatever. And it's a special edition Woody that'll be available at the Great Smoke.
Oh, so I gotta do some quick math on that.
What do you? Don't look. What do you think that cigar retails for?
I don't care about the retail. That's for the suckers out there. I want to know how much it weighs. That's what I'm curious about. I mean, that's got to be crazy. From Oscar Valdez, I bet he does it for better retails for $29.95.
$50.
How much?
$50.
All right. That I can see that.
$50. It comes in an individual wooden coffin, per cigar.
It's really got tobacco of 4 cigars in it, right?
I don't know. It looks like, I would say
at
more.
Least.
It's just a monster cigar.
I mean, that is a monster cigar. There's no doubt about that. So what does that work out to?
Anyways, anything else you want to say, Steve?
No, I'm good.
He's doing math in his head. He's doing math.
Go get yourself some rest. Give my love to Cindy. We'll see you in March. Everyone out there, thank you for joining us for the first event of the Great Smoke 2023 Mardi Gras Madness. More to come. Back in 2 weeks with Alec and Bradley Rubin of Alec Bradley Cigars. Peace out, everybody.